3. Today we're going to make a Mother's Day card, as it's Mother's Day in just over a week's time. It's on Sunday the 14th of March. So you need to try as best as you can to make this in secret. So your mum doesn't know what you're up to. So you might like to ask an older brother or sister or dad or whoever else looks after you at home to help you, rather than ask mum to help you with this. It's quite simple. So there are some instructions. So things that you're going to need. I've got some coloured paper here. I was lucky to have a supply of coloured paper or card. Doesn't have to be red either. Could be pink, could be yellow, could be orange. They're to make some tulip flowers out of paper. I've got some strips of green card here that I found in my box. You could use pipe cleaners if you haven't got card, or you could even use something like a cotton bud that you'd use to clean your ears, and then you could colour that with a green felt tip pen. So just be creative. If you haven't got exactly the right things, don't worry, you can use something different. Then I have cut out this is actually going to be a flower pot. You can see I fold it in half like that, and it will make a flower pot shape, which will become a lot clearer as we go on. And I've just cut that out of a piece of rough paper. This is a template, which means we're going to use this to draw around. And then another piece of card, it's just from a cereal packet, to make another template, and this is this teardrop shape here. Now these two shapes will be on a template that you can download. Mr. Padden will email to you. So you can use that, or you can draw your own. And then the other thing I have got is I wanted some brown card for my flower pot. So I've just found a piece of card. It's actually from an old Coke box in the recycling, and that's brown. So those are what we need. Scissors, a pen, and a glue stick as well. And also, if you have any, a piece of ribbon or a nice piece of string. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So the very first thing that you need to do is to draw the template, or just print it off onto a printer and then cut out the shape. Now I have folded my piece of paper, and you can see that both pieces on the fold are identical. They are symmetrical. Can you see? So along this line here, this is the line of symmetry. So then both sides are exactly the same, and that fold is really important. Now this piece of paper I've got here isn't really strong enough. It's a bit bendy, so I wanted to have some card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this template to this piece of card. Now I have folded the card in half, and I wanted to get a really neat fold here. So to do that, once I folded, I just used my glue stick and just ran my glue stick along the edge like that to get a really nice neat fold. Now with the flower pot template, I'm just going to put it under. Can you see what I've done there? I've just put it under up to the fold, and then this is the folded bit of card. Make sure that's nice and secure, it's not going to move about. And then with a pencil, or I've got a pen here, you're going to really carefully trace around the edge of your template like this, keeping the template nice and still. And take your time so you don't rush. Keep it nice and neat. So now we've drawn around that flower template. Now you can see that there it is there on the cut side. So we don't have the same on this side, but we're going to cut along with this fold. So I'm going to fold it back together. Now what I'm going to do is cut along the drawn shape. Again, take your time, don't rush this part. You want it to be as neat as possible. Try and stick as close to the line as possible. And I'm just going to get rid of some of this extra card that I don't need, make it easier to cut. There we go. We'll just clear this away. So what I'm left with is my flower pot, and now it's nice brown colour. Oh look, I've got a little messy bit there, so I'm just going to trim that off to keep it nice and tidy. Okay, so I have glued my template to the inside of my piece of card. I've smoothed that out. You can see it doesn't fit exactly inside, but that doesn't matter. It's covered up the messy part. And then I'm just going to check around the edges just to see if any bits need to be neatened. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of overlap where the paper's just overlapped the card. Keep it nice and tidy. There we go. There we go, there's our flower pot there. I'm going to draw a line along here. Now what I haven't got is a ruler, so a ruler would be a really good idea. Actually, in my box, my bag of pens, I've got a lolly stick, so anything that's got nice straight edge. And then draw a line along there. Turn it over and then do the same on the back. Okay, like that. So that's the inside of our card. Okay, next we're going to make the flowers. So this is where you need this template here. Now, I've drawn mine, can you see, on a fold. So I've had the template, I've folded the piece of card, and then I will cut along this line, like this. Because what that means is that both sides will be symmetrical, they'll be identical, like that, because I've cut it on that fold. Don't have to cut it on that fold, I just find that it makes it easier. And then this now is our petal shape, which I'm going to draw around. So that's where we need our coloured piece of paper. To make it easier again for cutting, I'm just folding like that. Use my lolly stick now, I've got it here. Again, to make really neat folds. My template. So I can either draw around it this way. Did you see what I did? So the folded part, I just fold around my template. Now I'm using a felt tip pen so that you can see clearly what I'm doing. You might like to use a pencil because then you won't have any messy black lines on your flower petals. So I can draw around like that and then cut that out. There we go, there's one petal. And if you find that difficult to cut it on the fold, then you can simply draw around it flat on your piece of paper like this, always holding your template still. then you cut out that petal. Now to make each flower, you need 3 petals, and we're going to put 3 flowers in our flower pot. So that's 3 groups of 3. So each flower needs 1, 2, 3 petals, and we want 3 lots. 1, 2, 3 petals, and the next flower will have 1, 2, 3 petals. So how many petals do we need to make altogether? We need to cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 petals. We could draw it, write it like this. 3 lots of, does anybody remember what this symbol is? It's multiply, isn't it? 3 multiplied by 3. So we've got 3 petals, 3 lots of 3. 3 times 3 equals, I wonder if you could tell me what the answer is. 3 times 3 is 9. So we want 9 petals altogether. So you need to cut yourself out 9 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got way too many here, but that doesn't matter. So the next thing we're going to do is to make the flowers. So you need to open up the first petal. We need 2 more. And then what we're going to do is put some glue. We're going to leave 1 unfolded and 2 leave them folded up. What we're actually going to do is attach them like this. Okay, so the bottom part meets in the middle like that, but slightly out to the side. And the same with this one on this side, like that. Okay, so we're going to put some glue in here. Don't need too much glue. Okay, so I'm going to write my message on my flower pot. I love Mum. Colouring my love heart. You might choose to put different message on the front of yours. Now, my tulips, look, one of mine's a bit too bendy. My stem isn't strong enough. So what you could do is to put and cut another piece of card and stick that on the back to make sure that they're nice and strong, or could attach it to another piece of paper like this and actually stick those onto the paper this way. So inside is where we're going to write our message to our mums in here. So inside I'm going to write my message. So happy, mothers, happy Mother's Day, and at the bottom, love. From. And then you put your name, Love from Yvonne. And then underneath, I'll give my mum some kisses. There we go. Your mums will absolutely love that card if you were to make that for her for Mother's Day. And then I've got some ribbon, and what I was going to do with the ribbon was to attach a bow to the front here. So you need to cut your ribbon, tie a bow shape. You might have to get help from an older brother or sister or dad or nan or granddad or whoever looks after you at home to help you tie your bow. So there we go, I've tied my bow. Now I'm going to put some glue onto here. Quite a lot of glue this time to make sure that it sticks. You need to press that down. So if the ends of your ribbon were too long, you could trim those to the right size. Maybe we'll make them a little bit shorter. I always cut ribbon on a diagonal because it stops the edges fraying. You know how the material here all comes apart. So if you cut them on a diagonal, that doesn't happen. And then you're going to need to leave that to dry and leave that alone. Yeah, so that's a beautiful, simple Mother's Day card that would make your mum so happy to receive that on Mother's Day with your lovely Mother's Day message inside. So yeah, look, my stem there is about to rip off. So I think what I will do is I will glue this down onto this piece of paper here so that repairs. Or if we just turn it over and using some scrap card that I've got here, because this card actually from the back of that Coke box is quite strong. So I could just do a quick repair, put some glue on the back there. This is the broken one. And then attach that to make it stronger. Let's do that to all of them. Just because the paper tulips you've made are quite heavy. There, make sure you put enough glue on. That's much better, look, so they're nice and solid now. So there we go. That is our beautiful card for Mother's Day. So download the templates. Mr. Padden will email you the template if you need it. At the end of this video, I'll also have the template so you can have a look at the shapes to cut out. Go and have a look in your recycling box and see if you can find a cardboard box that on the inside is brown. If you can't find one that's brown and the inside of your cardboard box, like I've got an old Shreddies one here, is white, that doesn't matter. You can either leave your pot white or you could use some crayons or some paint.